I could talk about the merits behind the film Just Mercy, which in and of itself was a very good film with very good themes and messages. But I think the question that's probably running on everyone's minds has more to do with the fact that in the US, black men are incarcerated 7 times more, or 1/3 of them get incarcerated more so than any other ethnic group. That even includes other ethnic minority groups like East Asians, Jews. The fact that many of their communities are born and bred to high rates of poverty, crime, and unemployment only exacerbate the fact that many of those group of people are often deprived and have no way of showing, so they turn to drug dealing, gangs, or even follow certain careers because they don't feel they have any options to represent themselves outside of those circles of influence. Which is why, once you see this film, or many of us like it, or get yourself woke and read a lot of literature, the importance of creating a nationalist republic in the Caribbean for black people around the Americas, and Africa included, because they tried doing that with Liberia and with Freetown, Sierra Leone, but that didn't work out. Many of those countries I have just mentioned are failed states with high degrees of colonialism, influence from European powers, and a lot of poverty and violence and child soldiers. The only way to solve this would be to get strong billionaires and groups of people to come together and create their own sort of nationalist republic in the Caribbean and find a way to combat the influence of violent racism and white supremacy, or the ever-increasing influence of the Chinese market, and become their own sort of global economic superpower of their own way. That way, people will have respect for them. They will not be feared. That's the only way they will ever have a chance of moving forward. Because assimilation and telling people you can't judge by the character, you can't judge by their skin, but you can judge by their character, those things don't mean anything anymore. They even tried and tested, and look where they still are. Still in a retrograde spot. You can even say about Palestinians in Israel. You can even say about that people in Tibet. You can even say about that people who used to belong to the USSR. Eastern Europe is still miles and kilometers behind Western Europe. To the point, many of these groups will often like to seek a way out, or turn to terrorism, or become immigrants and refugees in other countries simply because they feel that their homeland is being under threat, or that there's no way out. You're stuck in that mile of poverty. And it's a vicious cycle you can't get out of. It's depressing and it makes you commit suicide. I saw this film, Just Mercy, a little bit differently than most people, and I wanted to get it off my chest. It's a great film. Good way to start 2020, by the way. It should have won Oscars or Golden Globes attention, but it didn't. Only NAACP, National Board of Review, and that's really not enough. So, they fail on that part. You think Hollywood's progressive? It's not. It's always been a moneymaker. They peddle out films with extreme violence and retrograde sexual behavior and black and yellow face all over in their films. Simply because they think, hey, it's trendy, it'll make lots of money. You think Harvey Weinstein used to contribute to Hillary Clinton's campaign? Cares about climate change and poverty and helping out the underclass? No, he doesn't. He cares about his cock and his cum. So, bullet points. Create a nationalist black republic in the Caribbean. Get away from the influence of racism and white bigotry and defeat the Chinese market. Get Magic Johnson and Shaquille O'Neal to help out because Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, is no longer with us anymore. Don't buy into the fact that Hollywood is progressive. No, it isn't. It's false narrative that right-wingers often like to peddle through just to fit their own sort of ideas. or blame something on part of a Jewish conspiracy, which that's another topic a little bit later. And that the film is good. Great way to start 2020, alongside Guy Ritchie's Gentleman. Skinny Bert signing off. I've said my piece. Till next time, keep on watching. We're getting